Fernando Botero, welcome to our fourth edition of Forward, which explore the current and coming challenges in the art market. Your father, Fernando Botero, is one of the most renowned figurative artists and sculptors in the world. How would you describe what we call Boterismo?
Well, thank you for having me on this program, which is so important and so prestigious. It's an honor for me. So what is Boterismo? I think it's a style of painting that reflects an exaggeration of volume. So my father was enamored of the artists of the Italian Renaissance, and he studied those artists when he lived in Florence. And when he moved back to Mexico under Diego Rivera, he had a chance encounter with the style of Boterismo. And from that moment, he created a universe in which the salient characteristic is volume, volume, volume. That's Boterismo in a nutshell.
Okay. Fernando, what are the distinctive features of Botero's art style, notably the famous fat figures, and how does it contribute to his unique artistic expression?
Well, the most important thing for an artist is to have a unique style. And in the case of Botero, it's a style that is immediately recognizable. You see a Botero from a mile away, you know it's a Botero. What is it in his style that's unique? It's the exaggeration of volume. And he has a phrase that I think captures the essence of his art. He says, volume is the essence of beauty. So for this artist, everything that is voluminous is sensual, is beautiful, is aesthetic, and that's the clear characteristic of his art.
Your father considered himself as the most Colombian artist. How has Botero's work been received, usually by the art world, globally?
Well, my father has an expression that I think is very valid. He says, for art to be universal, it has to be local first. So his subject matter is very local. It's the memories of his childhood and his adolescence in a small town in Colombia called Medellin. And that's what he paints at 98 or 99% of his production, but done in a language so universal, so powerful, so sublime that is appreciated all over the world. So he is truly an international artist, being local in his themes.
And Fernando, how would you describe the influence of his work on your own appreciation of art?
Well, I was very lucky to have been close to him and to have grown up with him. And he always stressed the importance of culture. So he was not a father that was after good grades or good report card from school. Rather, he was a father that was interested in our cultural development. So when we lived with him in Paris, it was always, what have you done this week to increase your culture? What exhibitions have you gone to? What books are you reading? What movies are you seeing? So the importance of culture was very important.
In recent years, we've seen the arrival of NFTs, the non-fungible tokens, in the art market. So how do you think that this trend could affect the value of traditional art, such as the one of your father?
Well, in my opinion, the NFT was a bit of a fad. There was a lot of discussion around the NFTs a few years ago. I think that has died down tremendously. And the people who invested a lot of money in NFTs a few years ago, I think would have a hard time recovering that investment now. So I think that the essence of art will remain the same over the centuries. It's been like that for 2 or 3,000 years. I expect it to be the same for the next 2 or 3,000 years as well.
There's another interesting topic, which is art lending, which has become a growing trend in the art markets. What is your view on art lending?
Well, it was 5 or 10 years ago, it was something very exotic. Very few people did that, maybe specialized firm. And now I think it's becoming very widespread. I think the major banks have aggressive art lending programs. I think it's a trend toward the future. Based on the fact that art is a very important financial possibility nowadays, and the fact that the development of the auction houses have made art very liquid as well.
We've seen now the tremendous development of social media. How do you see the influence and the role of the social media currently and in the coming years regarding the art markets?
I think that the social media is extremely important. I mean, if today nowadays an artist does not have social media, he doesn't exist for people under 40. And in my case, large part of the communications I have about Botero and his art market is done through my social media account. So I firmly believe that social media is critically important for an artist today.
In recent years, there's been a growing focus on sustainability and ethical practice in many industries. And how is this trend reflected in the art market today?
Well, I think that it's a theme that a lot of the young artists are promoting, and I think it's very valid. With respect to politics, for example, my father said that art did not have the power to change political reality, but it had the power to create a memory of events from the past. And the same thing, even though art cannot change the current crisis in terms of global warming, it is a very instrument to highlight the problem and the dangers it poses to humanity.
And last question, Fernando, a more personal question, what was the kind of relationship that you had with your father? And can you share with us some personal story which accompany you today?
Well, I had a very close relationship with my father. I would visit him perhaps 3 or 4 times a year, either in Paris, where he lived for many years, or Monte Carlo. And I think that the key lesson from my father was the importance of being passionate about work. I saw him work every single day, even Saturday and Sunday. And when I would say to him, why don't you take a day off? He would say, why would I take a day off? It's difficult for me to have a better time than painting in my studio. So I think that was a great lesson from him.
Fernando Botero, thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to welcome you in this Forward edition.
Thank you so much.